Alright, welcome everybody to the next video. In this video, we're going to talk about lighting a little bit because that's really important in a game like Pavlov. So, if you haven't noticed, throughout a couple of the videos, we've had this message that says lighting needs to be rebuilt. And that's really important, especially when we're talking about creating atmospheres for a game. So for example, if you want to see your level without any lighting, you're going to click this option up here and select unlit. This is basically just an easy way to edit your stuff without lighting getting in the way. If you want to check to see what lighting would look like after you publish it, then you want to use the lit option. So let me show you an example of why lighting is really important. So what I have here is a map that I made for Pavlov a little bit ago. Now, this game heavily relies on a lighting system for its gameplay and its atmosphere. So as you notice, I have the scene set to unlit at the moment, and it makes it really easy for editing and making the map the way I want it to. But you'll notice that when I tag lighting on, all of a sudden it's really hard to see, and sometimes it could be really dark and it's really hard to edit in those lighting conditions. But the lighting atmosphere is really important for the type of game mode that it has. So lighting is incredibly important. It can create really immersive maps, and I would recommend that you spend a lot of time working on those, as it can really enhance your map quite a bit. But make sure you toggle between the two so that way you can edit your map and make it the way you want it to be. And then after building your lighting, you could see kind of what the lighting would look like. For Shack players, it's a little bit different because there is compression and stuff can look pretty strange and a little weird. And it may not look exactly how it looks in the editor to when you post it on the game. But for the Pavlov PC players, you can kind of expect the lighting to look pretty much exactly how you see it in the editor. Just a good thing to keep in note because it will affect kind of the way your game plays. So let's go back to the other map and go ahead and fix some of the lighting problems. Okay, so now we're back in tutorial end. So how do we get rid of this message? Well, we're going to go up to the build option and we're going to actually build the lighting. Now, I actually am going to build everything because it will build the lighting, but it also builds a couple other things like reflection spheres, which I just now realized we need to quickly do that. So I have to rebuild this again. Just give me 1 second. So I neglected to mention that you're going to want something called a reflection capture. I'm going to use a sphere in this example. And the reason why we really need this is because this is going to basically make the shine that you see on your guns or on your weapons and also players as they walk around. So that way they actually reflect and show light and show detail. Otherwise, you're going to have guns that are going to look dark, kind of muddy, and they're going to look really strange. So after you add your sphere, and you could tweak this, you can make it, I just chose to make it cover the entire map. In some circumstances, it's nice to have a bunch of these to actually create different reflections for different rooms, for example. But in our example, we're just creating a big one. So you're going to go through, you're going to build all the levels so that way you get your reflection and your lighting. This could take a while as well, so be patient with it and let it do its thing. Try not to edit while it's going. So my lighting just finished. I'm going to go ahead and click Save All, and you'll notice that there's some build data and some other stuff. It's really important that you save your map, and you may notice that the sky is dark. So how do we fix that? Well, because a lot of players get scared when that happens. A lot of modders do. So look for your sky sphere that you found at the very beginning of this tutorial series, and you're going to want to click on this button that says refresh material. That's going to bring your sky back, and hopefully it'll make sure that you're not freaking out, because that would be no fun. But you'll also notice that all of a sudden, all my volumes are missing. What happened there? Well, sometimes when we build all these things in the editor, it tends to mess up a lot of the, It tends to mess up the volumes and a lot of the stuff in the editor. Don't worry, it is still there. If you do want to bring it back, what you need to do is you just need to click on the volume that you were trying to look at, and just quickly cycle through, well, that didn't work. Oh, it did, actually. Sorry, I chose the wrong one. And just cycle the actor hidden in game. Just make sure it's off, of course. That's my favorite way to bring back this stuff, because it always freaks me out whenever it's like, oh no, it's gone all of a sudden. No, it's just what happens when you build levels and such. I think it's actually a glitch with the Pavlov like mod kit. So rest assured, your stuff isn't gone. It just gets hidden after it gets built. So now the important thing, uploading your mods. We obviously showed how to upload the mods before, so again, make sure that you don't have any errors like lighting, because that will affect the build and that'll affect the way the game shows up in the end. But once you've done that, go ahead and go back to Pavlov Workshop. You're going to want to select the mod you have and you're going to upload it again. Now, uploading is going to create a new file and overwrite the old one. That's totally okay, because I'll show you how to go back in case something breaks. So we're going to add a change note saying that we added skins and guns and lighting, because we did a lot before the last build. And you're going to want to go ahead and upload it. Again, this could take a while, so be patient with it. And if you do get an error with virtual memory, make sure that you don't have too many applications running in Windows or Linux or however you're doing this. Make sure that you have enough RAM in your PC. It is important to have a computer that can handle a lot of this stuff, because you are doing rendering, you are kind of pushing your computer quite a bit. So make sure you have a pretty good computer for this. It doesn't have to be super top end, just something that has a good amount of RAM and possibly a pretty good GPU. You don't want to run this stuff off of integrated graphics, truthfully, just because it's not really great for that. So try to have a GPU, otherwise a lot of things could be kind of messy. Alright, so once you've gotten your upload complete, that means that you just updated your mod and now you have a new file. But let's say that you go to play the game and all of a sudden it stops working. It starts crashing a bunch of stuff. And something that you worked on just suddenly made everything stop working. There's a fix for that. So we're going to go to mod.io. And you're going to go back to your teams and specifically that mod. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the edit. And you're going to go to files this time. And what's nice is you can actually set old files as live files. So in this case, I don't know why it's not setting the recent ones I just created to live, but let's say that your version 2 suddenly broke everything. Well, we can revert back to version 1 or any other version by going here and selecting set live file for both of those things. Now, you may be asking, well, what the heck, why is there 2 of them? Well, that's because one of these files is going to be running on the servers and another file is going to run on your headset. So make sure you're selecting the correct pair, so that way you ensure that the game will work both on the servers and also on your standalone headset. It's very important to make sure that you're using the exact same version of both the server file and of your local file. But we're going to go ahead and set the latest, in our case, which is version 2. And if you ever want to download these files, you can always click on them and it will download that file. Granted, I don't imagine you can do much with it, but maybe you can. In addition, if you do want to upload a file or a picture, which I highly recommend, it does help with getting mods out there and getting people to see them. Follow these guidelines that you see here at the bottom and upload your picture, change your name, summaries, all that jazz.